The air in the Vogue studio was cold, the kind of conditioned chill that made the fine hairs on Kendall's arms stand at attention. It was a stark contrast to the heat of the photographer's lights, which were being adjusted by a team of black-clad technicians moving with a quiet, hive-like efficiency. This was a screen test. Not a photo shoot, not a runway show. Something more raw, more clinical. It was about the unadorned image, the movement of light and shadow across a face the world thought it knew. She sat in the makeup chair earlier, staring at her own reflection, a canvas being prepared for a specific kind of dissection. The makeup artist, a man named Lucian with gentle hands and a severe haircut, had used only moisturizer and a hint of balm. "They want to see you, he'd murmured, his voice almost lost in the hum of the hair dryer on the next model. No stories today, just the architecture. Now, standing on the seamless white paper backdrop, Kendall felt strangely exposed. She was used to clothes as armor, as character. Today it was just a simple, black silk tank top and her own worn-in jeans. Her hair was down, unstyled, falling in its natural wave. "Okay, Kendall, we're rolling," a voice called from the darkness beyond the lights. It was the director, Anya, a woman with a sharp gaze and a reputation for pulling truth out of her subjects. A silent, whirring camera on a robotic arm began to glide around her. It was an unblinking eye, capturing every micro-expression. "Just relax," Anya instructed, her voice calm but firm. "Look here. Now, slowly, look to the light stand. Good. Now back to me." Kendall obeyed, her body moving on autopilot. She'd done this 1,000 times. But this felt different. There was no music, no chatter, just the whisper of the camera's movement and the thud of her own heart in her ears. She was a specimen under a microscope. "Think of something," Anya said. "It doesn't matter what, just let me see a thought cross your face." Kendall's gaze drifted from the lens to a scuff mark on the floor. She thought of her first Vogue shoot at 17, a nervous teenager trying to embody a woman. She thought of the endless comparisons, the whispers of "Nepo baby" that followed her like a shadow. She thought of the crushing anxiety before a big show, the feeling of being a fraud in a house of beautiful cards. She didn't realize her expression had changed. The practiced, neutral, model face had softened. A slight furrow appeared between her brows. Her lips, usually held in a firm, pouty line, parted just slightly. In her eyes, the famous Jenner blue, there was a flicker of something vulnerable, something questioning. The camera saw it all. It saw the girl from Calabasas who used to do homework backstage at Fashion Week. It saw the woman who had built a career brick by brick under a blinding, unforgiving spotlight. "Beautiful," Anya's voice cut through her reverie, a note of genuine satisfaction in her tone. "That's it. Now, give me nothing. Empty." This was the hardest part. To be a blank slate. Kendall took a slow breath, letting the memories and the insecurities recede like a tide. She focused on the heat of the lights, the texture of the paper under her bare feet. Her face became a calm, beautiful mask. But it wasn't the empty mask Anya wanted, it was a mask of emptiness, which was a different thing entirely. It was a performance of non-performance. After what felt like an eternity, the lights snapped off. The sudden dimness was a shock. "We have what we need, Kendall." "Thank you," Anya said, already turning to a screen to review the footage. Kendall stepped off the paper, her limbs stiff. An assistant handed her a bottle of water. She took it, her fingers cold. She walked over to the monitor where Anya and the cinematographer were huddled, watching the playback. On the screen, she saw herself. It was jarring. It wasn't the Kendall from Instagram, or from a magazine cover. It was her. The camera had captured the subtle shift from professional model to thinking, feeling human and back again. It saw the effort behind the effortlessness. "See," Anya said, pointing at the screen where Kendall's vulnerable moment was frozen. "That right there. That's the story. Not the clothes, not the fame. That's the girl who has the world watching, wondering who she really is when the flashbulbs die." Kendall took a sip of water, the cold liquid a relief. She looked at the frozen image of her own unguarded face and for the first time all day, she smiled. It wasn't for the camera. It was for herself. The screen test was over, but in a way, it felt like the most honest performance of her life.